Continuing from previous today, the designation major and minor prophets. In recent history, the prophetical books have had two designations, major prophets and minor prophets. The major prophets are the first 5 prophetical books: Isaiah, Jeremiah, Lamentations, Ezekiel, and Daniel. The minor prophets are the remaining 12. The major prophets are called major because they are longer books, which the others are called minor because they are shorter. Now, the time period pre-exile, exile, or post-exile, the prophetical books are divided into their chronological periods: pre-exile, exile, and post-exile. Most of the prophetical ministries and books occur before the exile. 3 prophets, Haggai, Zechariah, and Malachi, prophesy during the return of those who prophesy before the exile. 2 prophesy primarily to Israel, the northern kingdom, 7 primarily to Judea, the southern kingdom, and 3 or other countries, as seen in the following lists. Structure of the prophetical body is pre-exile to Israel, to Judah, to Aramaic, and to Edom. Now, the Hosea is Habakkuk. I'll just show you the diagram. Okay, and the rest of the diagram on another page. Now, assembling, practicing the future. The most famous characteristics of the Old Testament prophet was that he could occasionally predict the future. This was not an ability inherent within himself. Rather, this information was given to him by God in Israel. The rest of a true prophet was that he must be 100% accurate. If a prophet ever said something that did not come true, he was not a prophet of God. And the penalty for giving a prophecy that did not come true was death by stoning. This kept the ranks of the true prophets pure, although under the auspices of unrighteous kings, false prophets did occasionally arise. Now, the foretelling, the proclaiming, the teachings of God, while the ministry of foretelling, telling the future is more dramatic, the ministry or the foretelling is vastly more common in the list of a prophet. Foretelling means simply proclaiming the teaching of God to the people. Primarily, it relates to righteous being. There are 3 characteristics of this part of a prophet ministry. One is exposing and calling people to a higher moral lifestyle. Secondly is warning of judgment if the people don't reform. And thirdly is proclaiming the coming Messiah. The prophets usually warned about judgments related to the nation of Israel or Judah being militarily compelled and taken out of the land. Now the self-test. What you can learn tomorrow is built on what you learn today. Now let's do the four main features of the prophetical books. We have the designation, fill in the number for the description of predicting the future. Then we have the time period, fill in the number for proclaiming the teachings of God. And thirdly, foretelling, fill in the number, the pre-exile and the exile, post-exile. And lastly, the foretelling, fill in the number as the major and minor prophets. Now, the geography of the prophetical books, the primary location at which prophets ministered are found on the map below. Watch the country with the location by filling in the blanks according to the numbers. We have Israel, Judah, Edom, Syria, Babylonia, and Jerusalem, as seen in the diagram. Now, let's finish with the wonderful. You have now completed the section 1, the story of the Old Testament. This is a major milestone in understanding the Bible. The remaining sections have been structured so that they are challenging but not overwhelming. If you complete the Old Testament, you can complete the entire book, and you're almost halfway through. Now, having just overviewed the poetical and the prophetical books of the Old Testament, and having seen where they fit into the story of the Bible, we are ready to continue that story as we begin section 2, the story of the New Testament. That's all for today. Thank you.